Namaste, angels. This is the weekly general reading. We're starting with the dice and no. Stay in bed. Buy shoes, but also 29. Or spiritual partnership. And actually, this week, the 29th, is the feast day of Michaelmas or Saint Michael. Well, it was originally the feast day of Saint Michael. It's now combined the feast days of Saint Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael. And 29 did come out. Boom, 29. All right. So that's one spiritual partnership, but also something could be happening on the 29th that is, particularly important. Also, weekend away. And no. With the cards, we're beginning with the star. Represents the sign of Aquarius, most directly in the tarot. Hard time to over. Look forward to an abundance of happiness, enthusiasm, and positivity. Also, the Fool, which for me is also Aquarius kind of energy because it's about, taking a chance, even if you're going it alone and nobody else agrees, like sort of doing your own thing. Have the courage to embrace change, take risks, and be adventurous. That's very Aquarian to me. Since that sign is all about like freedom, humanitarianism, and stuff. But people also associate humanitarianism with the sign of Virgo, which we just left, right? The sun just left Virgo and entered Libra. So there may be something to that as far as both are air signs. So that's interesting too. And there's actually like these stars from this card in this card too. Also, oh, look at that. Okay. 3 cards, all in reverse. All potentially representative of the sign of Sagittarius. We got the Page of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Sun. So the Page of Wands is, of course, representative of energy, potentially of an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. The Sun, most directly in the tarot, represents the sign of Sagittarius and the planet Jupiter, which is its ruler as well. But the Earth's star, the Sun, rules the sign of Leo, so that's a possibility too. And then the Wheel of Fortune also represents the planet Jupiter and the sign of Sagittarius. So this is super interesting to me. On their own, though, in reverse, Page of Wands is about, like, rather than maybe entering a commitment or rushing into anything or whatever, this is about really getting to know somebody. Like taking the time to exchange like stories and maybe if you've already known each other, to get caught up or to go to the next level a little bit deeper. Let me open up. Let me hit my guard down. Let me share more with you, than perhaps I had in the past. If you're in something and it's not, serious enough for you, not committed enough for you, I get it, but this is not the time to push for that. It is really more so about like getting to know the other person. If you're single and looking, you may meet somebody about whom you hear like rumors. Oh, stay away from him. I heard, he's like this. He's a dog. Or I heard this. Stay away from her. She's, whatever, loosey-goosey and this and that. And those things may not be true. First of all, people make up stuff because they're jealous. People try to, fault, just, I don't know. There's all kinds of reasons why people spread things around that they don't know to be fact. And that may be the case here. Also, if it's somebody you know already, or maybe even that you dated already, maybe that's why you're getting a warning from somebody else. Like, don't hook up with this person or don't hook up with this person again because, they're going to be this way, they're going to be that way. Still, this is for you to like do your own assessment and review and decide. Like, don't trust what somebody else is saying. The Sun on its own, with regard to love, if there's, as far as a partnership or, people that are dealing with each other already, it can mean that one or both parties may be taking the relationship or the partner or both or some aspect of the relationship for granted. And, I'm getting like somebody, it could be like they're not on the same page. Maybe one is wanting to get to know and one is wanting to push into a relationship, or one is still having fun and maybe just wants to kick it, as they say, and the other one is has their hopes or their heart set on something more serious. So it may feel like one is taking the relationship for granted. It's a good time to try to get on the same page, because again, there's some talking that could happen, getting to know each other, and then maybe an understanding. Maybe the other person, for example, if that is the case, doesn't know that you want something more serious. Maybe they think you just want to, sleep together and, watch Netflix or whatever. And maybe that is what you wanted initially, but you don't anymore. You want something, deeper now that you feel like you've, had a connection with them, or, you know how it goes, right? So maybe there's a talk that needs to happen. For others, singles, it's important that you while you're out there looking, keep a positive attitude, a sunny disposition, as they say, right? Just very, very positive. And that way, like, when your esteem is up, is higher and stuff, like, you won't just take any old person that comes your way. You'll be a little bit more interested in finding that real connection, and it's a very, very good possibility of that happening, of you actually doing that. Again, two people meeting, not necessarily jumping into a relationship right away, but spending some time together, getting to know each other, and having something genuine develop. Wheel of Fortune. Sometimes with the Wheel of Fortune, we could be holding on to something longer than we should. Like, we might be like depressed, unhappy, and maybe we're like, because we're afraid to lose control. Again, let the guard down, all that kind of stuff. We're holding on to whatever this thing or person, or relationship or whatever it is, in which we're not really fulfilled. Because at least we have a level of control there. Like, if I'm not really interested in being here with you, I'm aware of that, whether you're aware of that or not. I can sort of control the narrative, even if I can't necessarily control my heart. So maybe that's why I'm depressed, right, and unhappy. And it's like something that they're willing to do, but the card shows up because it's time to cut it out, But on another note, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse can also mean that, because the Wheel of Fortune upright can mean that, like, particularly a long-term relationship may be coming to an end in love. So it's like at least slightly less likely in reverse, and more of an opportunity for you guys to maybe talk it out, or maybe for each person, or the person who's really feels like they're going through something or dealing with something, to take some alone time, especially in consideration of the sun, because the sun upright can be about the need for a break, either each person or one of the people or together or whatever it is, a break. So maybe you need some alone time to sort of like gather yourself and your thoughts and figure out, where you want to be or who you want, all that kind of stuff. And all three together can be like, about being sort of unhappy. And maybe we're especially talking about a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, maybe. But being unhappy, or, like I said, depressed, or just sort of negative. And look, as I say, the sort of negative and pessimistic. Well, here we have another star, so that's positive. It's in reverse, so it's not as strong as upright, but we got it. So you could be feeling like that because, again, there's a fear of. On that note, again, the Page of Pentacles upright. I will cut. Fear of losing control. So, it turns into like procrastination in doing what you need to do if you want to be happy. If you don't care about, necessarily being happy, then you don't have to necessarily rush to change anything. But, here we got more evidence that we're on the right track. And in terms of what we're talking about, there probably is another person that somebody would like to go to the Three of Swords in reverse can be an indication of, readying to do that. And the Three of Cups in reverse, also about, reunions, connections, maybe meeting somebody at a social event or something like that. Those are our new overall energies there. Here again, we started with the Fool and the Star, opening right away to unity. So a card of partnership, a time of divine understanding, renewal, peace, and hope. You radiate and attract great love. And key, new beginnings, directions, and adventures await those that are ready to let go of the past. So that's basically what I've been talking about, like holding on to something longer than you should. It's not working, you're depressed, you're not happy, or being ready to finally let that go so that you can move forward. We got another Sun here too. Open your heart to the enormous growth ahead. It too is in reverse, like our other Sun. I'll do one more. And it's Lovers. There are two paths ahead. Be true to yourself. Lovers in the tarot represents the sign of Gemini most directly. And Mercury actually went retrograde today. Mercury, ruler of the signs of Virgo and Gemini, went retrograde in Libra, fellow air sign Libra. Our new overall energy, Judgment. Soul searching will bring inner peace to many areas of your life. And Judgment represents the planet Pluto and the sign of Scorpio. And there are actually a couple of transits between Mercury retrograde and the planet Pluto this week or near future. With the, okay, I got these three upright cards. With the Angel and Animal Tarots, the Ace of Cups. So that's, that's the overall energy. That's the main focus. Falling in love or the resurgence of a relationship. So you could be, again, reuniting, getting back together with somebody. Spiritual growth and enhanced intuition, maybe even a new home. But there is potentially a lack of esteem, lack of confidence in oneself. So you have the potential to, miss out, right? To steal your own joy because you're holding on to something from the past. You're procrastinating. You're not making the right changes because of, again, fear, lack of esteem, depression, so on. Plans that need revision. More going on than meets the eye, poor timing. This can also be tied to the people who tell you bullshit about your person of interest, right? Your love interest, because maybe they are jealous. So they try to steal. Seven of Swords can be about thievery. Steal your joy, steal your happiness, because misery loves company. And then we have Major Arcana card 16, the Tower behind all of these, with Archangel Chamuel on here. So this is interesting because Archangel Chamuel is the Archangel of lost things. So again, loss, stolen property, thievery. And he's also the Archangel of unconditional love. So again, relationships and stuff. Not to be confused with Daniel, who's the Archangel of marriage and stuff and regular love. A significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. It's time to spread your wings. So it could be an actual revelation, like I get it now. I know I have to get out of this thing that's making me happy. Have to get out of this situation. Have to get myself together, right? And drop this, lack of esteem. Get my confidence up. Or have to get these people away from me that are in my ear with bullshit. Or I have to stop, listening to other people's stuff and, listen to my own heart, listen to my own intuition and inclinations and things, because there's a new beginning awaiting me. And here the next card is in reverse, but it is another Fool. All right, it's called the Dreamer in this deck. Major Arcana card 0. You are starting a new adventure. Run free and take a leap of faith. And we also have another page of Pentacles. Cheerful, reliable, intelligent, and mischievous. A wonderful opportunity related to your work or education, such as a promotion or a scholarship, is coming your way. Seize this chance to learn something exciting or to start a more rewarding and uplifting career. That can actually be what's going on with somebody. And sometimes that is a factor in our love life, right? Or this can be representative of an actual person, a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Or specific to love, the Page of Pentacles really means that I'm sort of bored in my relationship and might want to leave it as something I got to think about and decide. I mean, I could go on, because look what we have. Another Wheel of Fortune as well. Again in reverse. A time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward. Fortune is on your side. And that's what the Wheel of Fortune is about. Whether it's in reverse or it's upright, it is about a reversal of fortune. Things turning, changing, like, quickly and pretty much completely. Again, the Wheel of Fortune represents the planet Jupiter in the sign of Sagittarius, which it rules. And then speaking of Sagittarius, again, we got like the Queen of Wands now. The next card, so I could just keep going with this. But I'm not going to keep going with this. I'm going to cut these cards. Mix them up. Ugh. And what do we got? That Seven of Swords is our overall energy now. Plans any revision, more going on than meets the eye, and poor timing. For the fire signs this week, your card in love is Five of Pentacles. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Your card this week is the Six of Cups in reverse. I shared that, no names or anything or pictures, but I did share a message between me and my ex, as a joke on my community tab. I said, he was starting his Mercury retrograde early because he texted me like 2 days ago that it was still his birthday month and I should send pics, So it's like the Six of Cups is about like a relationship from the past a lot of the time. It is a soulmate card in the tarot, but in reverse, we'll get more into it. Particularly with regard to love, it can be about, finally handling some stuff like, putting things on the table that maybe you were avoiding because you didn't want to stir anything up, dealing with them now. Air signs. How could I forget us? I got stumped for a second. I'm like, what was I up to? Air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Our card is the Queen of Wands in reverse. And water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, 10 of Wands. This could be, it could be Mercury retrograde because none of these are really all that exciting. I mean, the earth signs and the air signs, not horrible. And our overall energy is also not horrible. But none of them are really like, ooh, this is exciting, in terms of love. In any case, let's get into it. So the Three of Cups we talked about a little bit what it can be about, but also in reverse. And it was the Three of Swords that was immediately behind it too, right? And this is in reverse. So it's like you're ready to move on. That really makes a lot of sense because on its own, the Three of Cups in reverse can be about like recent difficulty in a romantic relationship or situation coming to an end, so things are getting more positive. Actually, that's a Three of Wands. That's a Three of Wands. Why did I say that? That I was just saying may be especially true for the air signs and the water signs. All right. But Three of Cups, okay, my apologies again. Three of Cups in reverse says that if you're in a committed relationship, that you may find that like financial situations and stresses or stressors are what is affecting your relationship. So maybe that's why we kept seeing the Page of Pentacles. Or maybe it's connected to the earth signs for the most part, because we got cups and we got cups. That's why I was saying like with the Three of Wands, when I gave that, we got wands and we got wands. So maybe especially them, but for this, especially here. Okay. If you're single and looking, though, it's a little bit more positive. You can definitely, again, meet, a really awesome romantic possibility, especially in a group or through friends. So it's like, as I mentioned, maybe at an event or something, you get invited to something, go. You could really not only have a good time, but meet the love of your life or future love of your life. Five of Pentacles, for the earth signs, not the most exciting card, as I was saying before. Specifically, this card in love can mean that you might have your eye on somebody or you might be dealing with somebody already who you feel is not necessarily treating you the way that they should be treating you. And it's possible that it's you who needs to stop like fantasizing about this person in the way that you are. Like maybe you've always been envisioning them in a way that's not really them, and that they're not really going to behave. It's like when somebody tells you who they are, believe them, but you haven't believed them. You keep picturing them some other kind of way. That's a possibility. Or maybe they really aren't. Now, what's interesting is, again, this is the fire signs: Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And in the beginning, we had those 3 cards that I said most directly connected with the sign of Sagittarius. Also, second to that, I would say Leo, and then Aries last. Remember, because the sun and everything, the real sun rules the sign of Leo. So I'm going to go with that again here still, because those cards potentially meant that you were being taken for granted, or the relationship with you was being taken for granted. And so maybe that's why, if you feel like you're not being treated the way you should, maybe that's why, because the person's taking you for granted. And so, especially if you are a Sagittarius or a Leo, this could be what is happening for you. Also, I mean, like literally it can be about feeling left out in the cold, right? The card, just like abandoned, nobody to really lean on or count on. Like, and you're probably there for everybody, because it's the pentacle. So people with the earth signs are dependable, right? Or earth energy is dependable. You can count on it. And so you probably are like that. People can always count on you, and you don't feel like there's anybody there for you, at least not right now. So there's that left out in the cold. It's important to remember that, even if you had your heart set on somebody, like, we all have so many soulmates, and there's so many different kinds of soulmates, and some are just for a season, as they say, and to teach us a lesson, and some are meant for forever. So it's possible that the person you had your heart set on was meant for a season and not forever. Or maybe they were meant for forever, but not right now, and so you're like jumping the gun. There's a lot of different possibilities, and the idea is to just, remain positive and open to a meaningful relationship entering your life, because like when it's right, you just won't have to stand on your head for it to be right. It'll be right, and it'll be like, at the right time, whatever that means, like divine time and all that kind of stuff. But in the meantime, what you can do, and again, is have a sunny disposition and broaden your horizons, thinking about the sun and the horizon, all that kind of stuff, and think positively. Yeah, I guess that's it for that area. Moving on to the 6 of Cups in reverse. This card says that you are likely to soon start like dealing with issues that you've been avoiding with regard to love. So like maybe you've been sweeping things under the rug because you just, wanted to keep the peace, wanted to keep the harmony. And those things may surface right now and just need to be dealt with, and there's like nothing you can do about it. And it may be tied to Mercury retrograde. In fact, it probably is. Mercury retrograde, or retrogrades in general, are about like redoing, revisiting, reassessing, reuniting, maybe. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you're probably going to be doing some of those things. If you're single and looking, though, then it is a little bit different. It can mean like the time has come where you need to look at yourself, reevaluate, reassess, like a self-assessment, and like what you're doing or maybe not doing to bring love into your life, or to block it from you. You know what I mean? Because we can't expect love or relationships or the perfect partner to just fall out of the sky, especially not with this card, and particularly in reverse. Moving on to the Queen of Wands. Oh, this was for, again, the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Moving on to the Queen of Wands and the air signs. So this card can mean that an older woman, and if you really get into like traditional tarot practice, maybe specifically a light-haired woman, and maybe she's light-haired because she's white-haired, is what I just got. She might be like somebody's mother, or like mother figure, older sister, no, somebody nosy, or grandmother maybe even, that's like somehow they're involved indirectly in your relationship. She could be your mother-in-law too. And if she is, I mean, if she's somebody that's important, like just do your best to make her an ally, regardless of how you may feel about her. Yeah. If you're looking, you could very well meet somebody and that's going to be a really good, that will be a really good partner for you, like a good match for you through an older woman. So maybe your mother introduces you to somebody, or an older neighbor, or again, mother figure, somebody, a big sister, something like that. You may want to even let the women in your life that you feel you can trust and talk to and that kind of stuff. If you're single and looking and want to meet somebody, you might even want to let them know. And they don't have to be family members. They can be other people. And older may not mean old. It may mean, like me and my good friend, I just turned 50 this year. She's 45, I think. 44 or 45, something like that. So I'm older, technically, even though it's not like I'm, a senior citizen and she's a baby. You know what I mean? It can be like that sort of thing. And I'm going to say, well, I didn't really say it this way before, especially if there's an air sign dealing with a water sign. It could be the water sign's mother or mother figure, or again, so like it could be like your mother-in-law or something. And that's why they've got the 10 of Wands. They've been carrying this because this person has been maybe on them or in their, telling them what to do, possibly. Like the Page of Wands in reverse. The 10 of Wands can signify that a person is going through something difficult. So it could be like your love interest, like I'm saying. So it could be like the water sign themselves are going through some sort of rough time, or have been going through some sort of rough time. And maybe it's in part due to this person. Not you, the air sign, but who the Queen of Wands represents here. Or maybe there's a water sign who's dealing with somebody else. And, so it's not them. It's not their mother. It's the other person's or whatever. But I think more likely it's the water signs, older feminine energy that's around them that's been like hard on them. Or they've been dealing with something difficult, or, both. It's all tied together. Anyway, I mean, at the end of the day, whatever it is, whether it's somebody else indirectly involved, or the person going through rough times, a rough patch, or the relationship going through a rough patch, there's something ultimately that's going to be in the relationship that needs to be examined, or again, re-examined. Talked about, dealt with, faced, considered, however you want to look at it. It's not going to help to just carry the burden quietly, deal with it on your own, and pretend that there's no problem. That's going to be to your detriment. Like, it will behoove you, as they say, to deal with this situation. If you're single and looking for love, then this might not be the week for you, but your time is coming. If that's a consolation. This week I would just do something else. I wouldn't even bother looking, though. Or again, rather than looking, you could, if you meet somebody, you could, rather than trying to jump into something, you could get to know them. So this week might not be the week for falling in love, but it could be the week, for starting along that path. And then you take some time to actually get to know the person. So, From the Animal Tarot, joining the Five of Pentacles for the fire signs, we have the King of Wands, which in the tarot, traditionally speaking, totally represents the sign of Sagittarius. So there's something going on with y'all and or your ruler, Jupiter. Inspiring, dramatic, ambitious, and wise. And look who's on it. It's the Leo. So again, as I was saying before, Sagittarius first, then Leo, then Aries, for all the things I said, like in that order. The King of Wands is inspiring, dramatic, ambitious, and wise. Now's your moment to step into a leadership role. Don't back away from the spotlight, as your plans will be successful as long as you stay focused upon the big picture. And the big picture, I think, is you and your future, Joining the Six of Cups in reverse for you earth signs, we have the Tower. Important changes are coming to your life that will require you to take action. Don't hesitate to move in new directions that you know are right for you. So whatever you're dealing with, it could lead to a major change in your life, or it could be brought on by a major revelation that you realize, like, oh, I have to deal with this. I can't go another day, sweeping this thing under the rug. Yeah. Dealing with it could totally alter things. And that doesn't mean you're going to break up with your partner if you already have one, but it could just really change the direction or trajectory, as they say, of, where you're headed right now. And that doesn't mean for the bad either, necessarily. It can be, for the positive. For us, air signs. Why do I keep forgetting the air signs? First, air signs: Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We got the Six of Cups, and it makes sense because, again, Mercury retrograde, exes start coming out of the woodwork. The love and care of children could become an important part of your life, or people from your childhood may return to it. Old memories can be healed, or possibly old childhood dreams are ready to be revived. All of those are possible, and or an ex, a soulmate or something could walk into your life, return to your life, all those things. Water signs, joining the Ten of Wands. We have the Ace of Swords. I told y'all the water signs, particularly those that are dealing with air signs. There's an ending coming to this feeling of being burdened or burdensome and the difficult, rough times. And maybe this person that's been, directly or indirectly sticking their nose into your relationship and into your business and into your love life, or causing some sort of block. And there's a new start. Ace of Swords is a card that can be about not only a new start, but like one that was sort of like difficult getting here, but like we're here, and of course, an ace, an 11, or a 1 does come after a 10. Implementation of your brilliant new idea may get off to a rocky start, but keep going. The challenges will help you to refine your plan and to reshape your goals into something even better. From the Fortune cards deck, for the fire signs, we have Angel. This is so nice. Your angels are guiding and protecting you on your spiritual journey. So however it is you're feeling, whatever it is you're dealing with, you're not alone. You do have an angel. And actually, did I mention on the 29th is an angel day? Yes, I did. The Archangel Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel. And on the 2nd of October, the last day for which this reading is, it's Guardian Angel Day. So, this is showing up for you. I think is very special to say you're not alone in the cold. You do have support and love and guidance out there. It's going to show you the way and how to take the lead in your life. Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, joining the Tower. And, oh yeah, how could I forget? The Six of Cups. We got Death. So again, it's about letting go of something from the past. A time of natural transition and transformation. Very much like the Tower, similar energy. Air signs joining our Six of Cups and our Queen of Wands in reverse. We got the Fool. Have the courage to embrace change, take risks, and be adventurous. Maybe with an ex, or a soulmate, or somebody with children, or you're the one with children and you're getting with somebody single, maybe, and that's going to be exciting. Or you're a child of the parent, maybe you're not in a relationship now, but you can be in one. I guess they would be an ex, though, right? Yeah, you guys get the idea. This is about taking a chance on something or someone. And last but not least, the water signs joining your Ace of Swords and your Ten of Wands. We do have Snake. Your intuition and healing powers will guide you to a better path. But be careful. Again, be careful. I think who you listen to and who you hand over your power to. Or how about don't hand over your power at all to anybody? Hope you guys have enjoyed the love reading. I'll be back soon. Please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. It helps the channel, and I do appreciate it. Namaste.